Hi guys, and welcome back here to the Dev Realm, and today we carry on our modular car series. And in the last episode, what we did here is that we create this play button, and now we're gonna actually try to somehow play that object and do something on it, right? So what we're gonna do here is that we are going to actually needed this part reference in this tool, so we can pass to our player component and then we can trigger stuff on it, right? So the first thing we're gonna do here is that let's open up this tool here. So let's go to the car terminal, and here we're gonna need an object reference. So this is gonna be the part that this is referencing to, right? And what we can do there is that we could call it, let's say, the master modular part ref, right? And this can be a BP master. I think in this case we're gonna give a very specific name, which is just called master car part. Yeah, so it's just called master car part, and so it's gonna be BP master car part. It's gonna be the object reference. Let's make sure that we put a category here to settings. And right, let's make sure it's public. And now this is something that you probably guys haven't been introduced for, but objects in the Word, they can also have reference to another objects in here. So the way you can do this is that you click on your terminal here in that case. And because we make sure that variable is inside the settings, we can just come here and pick that car body reference here. And the cool thing about that is that if you try to delete it, it will warn that, oh, this terminal has the reference of that. Yeah, cool. Now we got this, and we're gonna compile and save and do stuff. So what we can do here is that when we are opening our, actually, instead of calling toggle, let's just call the open car, no, sorry, API open car, what is it, open, we call it card. Let's just rename to car. That's the wrong way. Car, and then car here, right? So we're gonna do that. The reason why we're calling the open here is because we can pass our object straight away there. So I'm gonna show what I mean here. And I'm gonna do this, and here we're gonna call the API close the car widget, right? So the close we don't need to care that much, but in here we do need to know that we are passing some kind of a reference to that widget. Or even better, what we could do here is that, well, I'm just trying to think in a way that, because if we're trying to do this in a replicated state, because we're trying to use that method, it won't work properly. So let's just revert this to the toggle, and then we're gonna do that on the toggle here. I know that we're not playing with replication at the moment, but I think in the future, if you want to replicate this, it will make our lives much more easier, because this can run on the server at some point. So what we do here is that we're gonna get our master car part ref, right? And in here we're gonna put this, let's say, yeah, so let's find BP master car part reference. There you go, pretty cool. And now what we can do here, if is valid, we want to set the value, right? If it's valid, we want to do something. If it's not, so if it's valid, what we want to do here is then we want to set to the, yeah, MasterCard part reference, and then we can put this inside, I don't know, car testing or something. And here we're just gonna set this true. If it's valid, we do that. If it's not valid, we don't care, we just carry on. So let's just put it here. All right, and this is pretty good. Compile and save. Save here. Nice. So now we need to pass the car, the master car reference, which is basically this. So we pass in that here, right? We could pass it here as well, yeah, but yeah, the widget is closed. There's no way you can actually trigger that. And there you go. So now we got the referencing here. So the way I know that we have a reference is that by coming in there, and we can get this MasterCard part reference. We can do like a print. So we come in that, and we can do that. You see, the car body reference is in that. And here we could do all sorts of crazy stuff. We can just do something like, I don't know, delete, destroy actor, or something like that. So when we come down here, boom, it deletes the actor. So now you guys can see what I'm going with this, right? So we have that here, you got this here. So if we come back in there, it will delete only the master part. So if you want to destroy everything, we need to make another set of logics in here. But I think that's fine for now. And okay, so let's do now the simulate physics. So the idea now that we got to do here is that we need to make sure that all the parts attached to that master part simulate the physics. And let's do that. So let's open up here our master part, and so we have here a couple of methods, which is add unique parts to the organizer. Oh, I got messed up a little bit. Let's just align this again. So you got all this kind of stuff here. And if you also notice, for each type of part, we do have a set of different logics that we have to apply, right? And yeah, so we need to kind of do this in a way where they get replicated properly. So to do this, what we're going to do here is that we're going to create a custom event, and we're going to call this API simulate or drive vehicle or something like that, or drive car. Yeah, sure. Let's just call instead of drive, let's call simulate, right? API simulate. And let's do this. So first thing we need to do here is that we need to make sure that our body car here is, so we need to do a for each loop, and we need to get the instead of getting the body, what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna go to we're gonna go to the parent class here. Yeah, and we are going to create a new event. Let's create here a custom event, and let's call API part simulate, right? And in here we're going to create now a function that we're going to override after, called part simulate, right? Now what we can do, just plug this here and simulate the part. Cool. Compile and save here. Now what we can do then is basically we gonna go to our master part here. We're gonna go to our car body, because the car body is the part that we're placing, right? Let's open up that. So we have the car body here, and now we can override that function called simulate. So part simulate. So we can do that right now. And what we're going to do here is just that we're going to get the body and set simulate physics to true, right? And the reason why we're doing this, guys, is because you may buy assets that have many parts inside that needs to be set in a specific way, so you never know what you need to do. So for each part, you need to do a specific bit, right? And what we did here, that's fine. This is working. Now, if you go back to the master parts within the for each loop, so what we can do with that is called the API simulate part, right? So this will simulate the car physics. This will simulate the car. Yeah, let's just put here something like this. Let me just make sure this organize get different color. We need to start to organize this as well in a better way, because it starts to get a little bit messy. But let's see if this works. So right now, what we gotta do here is that we gotta, oh, let's get our body part. So we put it like that. We come in here, and now we need to press play. So something needs to happen there, right? So to do that, we go our part here. So we have access to our master car part ref. And this is, we can call this API simulate. So we can call that, compile and save. So here we're gonna call API simulate. Let's see what's gonna happen. So let's start to add some parts in them. That's here, add them. So we're gonna add these parts. We're gonna add here, and also we're gonna add something like that. And then right now, there we go. So you guys can see that the simulation is working. The only problem that we got here is that all those parts, they need to be attached to that. So for example, the reason that what we can do here as well is that we can also call part simulate. So API part simulate, which is self, right? Which we can also come here, override, and call the part simulate. We're gonna get the same class, set simulate physics. And we're also doing for this is the master part here, right? So right now is that we go, let me just show what I mean here. And this is something else that we need to fix it, is that we need to make sure that all those parts, they get attached to the parent part. So in that way, when they simulate together, and in this way, the master part's the one that driven them. So press simulate, and there you go. So what we're gonna do now is that all those other parts, they will get attached to this cube here. And then they will stay in place together. So what I'm gonna do here, guys, I'm gonna pause this video, and then in the next one, we're gonna fix those issues that we got here, and then we're gonna do all that simulation as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I see you guys in the next one.